So in this video, we will be practicing some more square root equations. Remember, it's a square root equation. We can see the square root over there. We're solving for x. Here's the steps. Let's get into it. Step 1, isolate the root. What that means is you need to get the root by itself on one side of the equation. So at the moment, there's a plus 6 over here. You need to do the inverse operation, which is minus 6. So you leave the root, square root x on the one side of the equation. Inverse operation of plus 6, opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. So take it over, plus 6 becomes minus 6. Now the root is alone, step 1 is done. Then we need to square both sides of the equation. So you square the entire left-hand side, you square the entire right-hand side. You do not square the individual terms. You have to square the whole of the left and the whole of the right. Then what you do, as I mentioned in the previous video, the square root and the square essentially cancel themselves out. It's a little bit more complex than that. When you deal with roots, you should know that when you're multiplying the roots, okay, you keep the root and you multiply x times x, which is x squared, and then you go your inside divided by your outside. So it is 2 divided by 2. That's why it's x. That's the proper reasoning. But we can just think of it as when I square root a square, they end up cancelling each other out. So whatever's underneath, that gets left over. Then when you square a binomial, remember you square the first term, you square the last term, so positive 36. You multiply these two together, so negative 6x, and you times it by 2, so negative 12x. I have a whole video on the binomial shortcut if you want to check it out. Just remember, if you don't like the shortcut method, you need to think about it like this, the FOIL method. You cannot forget about this middle term, which a lot of students do. Then, because I see an x squared in my equation, do you see it there? There, the x squared, we know it's a quadratic equation. We need to get it in standard form. We need to make it equal to 0. So this plus x is going to come over. It's going to become minus x. We're going to have minus 13x plus 36. It's equal to 0. And then we need to factorize this trinomial over here. I hope you can all do trinomials at this stage. You get x minus 9 and x minus 4 is equal to 0. So therefore, according to this, my solutions are x is equal to 9 or x is equal to 4. But remember, so that's putting it in standard form, factorizing, taking this solution, x minus 9, and making it equal to 0, so x is 9. Taking this solution, making it equal to 0, so x is equal to 4. You know quadratic equations. Then the most important part, you must test your solutions. You have to. So what do I mean by test? What you're going to do is you're going to take 9 and you're going to put it in the place of x. If you put 9 in the place of x over here, let's do it. The square root of 9 is 3, and then we take plus 6. So the left-hand side, this will give me 9. And the right-hand side, well, x is 9. So 9 is equal to 9. The left-hand side of the equation equals the right-hand side of the equation. So all we're doing is we're substituting our answer into the x's. If the left-hand side equals the right-hand side, your solution is a valid solution. So this solution is all good. Let's test the next solution where x is 4. So in the place of x, we're going to put 4. So think about it. We're going to put 4 in both sides. So the right-hand side will be equal to 4. The left-hand side, the square root of 4 is 2 plus 6, that's 8. 8 is definitely not equal to 4. So this solution is not a valid solution. You have to draw a line through the equal sign. So what you're telling me is these were the two options given to us by our quadratic equation, but x cannot equal 4 because then the equation does not work. You have to put the line through the equal sign. Let's do another example. This is definitely exam level examples, by the way. So over here, we can see it's a square root equation. There's the root. I need to isolate the root. That's step 1. The thing that throws people off about this particular example is that there's a 3 in front of the root. I think personally, it is best to isolate the root with that 3 attached to it. So think about it like this. It's attached to it, so it can stay with it. We don't have to completely get rid of the 3 as well. So when I say isolate the root, I mean this is plus 7. So we do inverse operations. It becomes minus 7. Opposite of adding 7 is subtracting 7. And we're left with 3 root x minus 3. So now I know that 3 over there is bothering you. It's fine. We can still do the sum by leaving the 3 over there. We've isolated the root still, so step 1 is done. Then we are going to square both sides. So we square the entirety of the left-hand side, and we square the entirety of the right-hand side. Okay, square both sides and show it. So show me on paper what you're doing. Now, when we are actually going to expand or distribute over here, you need to be careful, especially because of this 3. How we do it is we square the 3. So essentially we're doing 3 squared, and then we're going to do x minus 3 squared. That is basically what we are going to do in order to simplify. So what is 3 squared? It's basically the exponent inside multiplied by the exponent outside. So there's an invisible 1 there. So it's 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, so I'm going to write 9 there. And then what happens if I square? We just did it in the previous one. What happens if I square a square root? The short way of thinking about it is they cancel each other out. So you're left with x minus 3. You need brackets here though. Okay, very important. Then on the right-hand side, we do binomial square. So square the first term, square the last term, multiply these two together, which would get you negative 7x, and then you times by 2. So negative 14x. Okay, that's the shortcut for binomial square, or you just do the FOIL method. Then over here, I'm going to distribute this into the bracket. And then once I'm done there, we can again see that we are dealing with a quadratic equation. So we need to get it in standard form, make it equal to 0. So I'm going to take everything over this way. So negative 14x minus 9x, because this was plus 9x, it comes over. Then plus 49 stays on this side. This was negative 27. It becomes plus 27. Let's simplify. So we end up with a trinomial that looks like this, a quadratic equation. It's a trinomial. We must factorize it. If you do that correctly, you should get x minus 19 and x minus 4. That means that my two solutions can possibly be x is equal to 19 or x is equal to 4. But remember, we have to test our solutions. So how do we test? We take our solution, our answer, so 19, and we substitute it in the place of x. So if we substitute it in here on the left-hand side of this equation, if you follow what I'm doing, if you say 19 minus 3, you get 16. The square root of 16 is 4. 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. 12 plus 7 is 19. And then of course we substitute the 19 in on the right hand side. The left hand side is equal to the right hand side. Therefore 19 is a valid solution. Remember, when you sub in, use brackets, just simply type in all of this with x is equal to 19 on your calculator. So x is equal to 19 is all good. But what about x is equal to 4? So in the place of x, both sides of the equation, I'm going to put 4. So if I put 4 here, it's going to be 4 minus 3. So that is 1. The square root of 1 is 1. You multiply it by 3, you get 3. Plus 7. On our left-hand side of the equation, we're getting 10. On the right-hand side of the equation, we have 4. 10 does not equal 4. Therefore, this is not a valid solution. We need to draw a line through that. That is our answer. I hope that was helpful. Remember to always test your solutions and follow the steps, and you can't go wrong with these equations. I'll see you in the next video for another type of equation.